What's up, guys? Hendricks Family Investments back at you again. And man, we've got some content to talk about. Let's jump right into it. I am sure you guys are quite curious to see some charts after the dips we have experienced in the last 2 days. Crypto market as a whole is down strong, 20% plus across the board. Some coins 50, 60% dips. We're looking here right now at Ripple. Let's see how deep this dip has gone. So it was 42% dip, and then it went further. We have dipped 55%. We've seen a turnaround, which is positive, and we're trying to reclaim this line right here. I think this is a pretty big reclamation right here. Let's actually move this up from when it went to the next high. So there you are, SR. As we've talked about, an SR level is a support resistance level that you want to flip, meaning right here we see this going into a level. It doesn't make this level. We want to turn this level and go up. Right here, going into this level, fail. Going in, pass. Right here we failed though, and we're back down. So not a good look right now. We're sitting in the range where people are starting to feel like, it's over, which honestly is typically a very good time to buy. We're going to talk at the end of this video, after I've gone through all these coins, my thoughts on what you should be doing in terms of buying. But for now, this is information, and we're in a pretty good blocker spot here for XRP. You can see where this went up. We're going to go ahead and make a blocker right now on this part right here where we had the resistance. Remember, I've talked to you about blockers. Blockers are where you find a red candle in the midst of an upswing and a lot of green candles. Shows where there's liquidity, shows where there's resistance. As you can see, it dipped right into it. It bounced right off of it. We just failed to reclaim right here. We could be revisiting it. If you're looking to buy and you miss this first dip, this red box is where you would be looking for. Let's move over to the king, BTC. Big round up here. This is the 4-hour chart. Whew. Kind of falling here in no man's land. Positive thing is it is a higher low than down here. So if you zoom out, you can zoom out. Higher low. We can go up from here. That's a lower low, which is not good, but it was followed by a higher high. So I'm not as concerned about it, meaning if this lower lower was created by this, so it went up, failed, and then came back down, I would be much more concerned about this being a lower low. But if you notice, it didn't. It wanted to go down, and then it shot back up. So we actually had a higher high and broke to an all-time high before coming to this low. So I treat this differently, and I view it as a higher low, and I think it's still bullish. I'm going to be paying attention to this red box down here heavily. We've been saying since mid-March that if it fell, this is the spot of confluence where you're looking for. We have an old all-time high followed by a huge impulse that only retested one time. And then in the middle of that impulse, we had a blocker that was just clear as day. If I drop down into this, you could see that blocker. So paying attention to this red box hard. I would love to see it reclaim the red box above. As you can see, this blocker right there, you see that red candle squeezed in the middle of two. We would love to see it pull back up through here, reclaim, and start heading back up. This dip is nothing to be scared of, though, in these contexts. When you zoom out of these charts, you see that it's not as bad as it looks. ETH, wow. ETH has been something to watch because while BTC was dipping, ETH made this all-time high. Let's go ahead and shoot the candle off because it's now an all-time high, so it's historic. All right, so my video's in the way. I can't even see the price. 2653, brand new all-time high for ETH, and it happened at a time when BTC was going down. That's really traditionally extremely bullish. And then there's some other things about ETH that I like, even though it dipped so hard. First of all, ETH dropped right here, and it just made a higher low. I mean, it had after making a higher high, it made a higher low. An extremely strong impulse down. I mean, this is almost a 30% down candle, guys. 2653 down to 2065. I mean, it's like 25%, 27%, just a rip down candle, and still made a higher low. And then the main thing for me was this blocker before this rip up. This blocker got recovered very quickly, and I like seeing this blocker recovered. I want to keep us out of this blocker. And I'd like to see ETH chase on up. Right now, ETH's in a good spot. I think these were some great buys down here if you got into them. We had confluence of the previous all-time high from mid-March when it hit 2000. That confluence mixed with that box and that run-up, I think made it a very strong support region. So ETH is still looking good, even though we've got a down 6.3% on it right now. Good's relative, right? You can go into these charts and get real close and be within the 24 hours, and no, it doesn't look good. You can zoom out and you can take things objectively and try and make a plan, and it does. LTC, another one that just, oh man, I hate it when I do that. LTC is another one that just absolutely ripped. We saw it go from, what is this, 168, where it knocked out liquidity here that we were happy about, and shot up to 332, pretty much a double. Still not all-time high status. All-time high status is up here at this yellow line, 421.05. But then it shot back down to 206. So we went effectively from, it was 289, I think. Yeah, it was 291 to 206 down. Wow. What a strong impulse down. LTC is not out of the woods right now. I really want to see it reclaim this historically strong yellow line of 241. Do not want to see it hanging below this spot right here. I think this is a big SR that it needs to claim. I think if we don't see it go there, we could be grabbing lower to some of these other SRs, and particularly this one at 180. Not a fan really of the price action I've seen from LTC out of this unless it recovers. I think it will be grabbing lower. Overall, though, we talk about zooming out. Overall, I'm still a huge fan of LTC market, and I still have good positions in it. Guys, we haven't even hit the all-time high on this cycle. One of a very few percentage of majors that haven't hit the all-time high of last cycle. The fact that it went back down to where it's at, still, almost pushing down to, actually it did at 206, it pushed down to half of the previous all-time high. To me, that just makes it a great buy. A lot of people in the scenarios of trying to understand what trend we're in, whether we're in a short-term, long-term, et cetera. I view this as a cycle, and, I'm going to die on this stake, die on this hill, but you can't convince me that LTC is not going to at least return to its previous all-time high cycles of December 12th, 2017. You just can't convince me of that. So as ugly as this looks, zoom out, and I'm still positive on it. All right. Another one that looks really bad, but it's actually staying within the fractal that I built for it, is XLM. So here we go. We're at XLM looking at the fractal. Fractal, guys, is a pattern recognition. Basically, you see one thing happen and you can see it happen again. It happens a lot of the times. So we had a fractal going back in February. Obviously, we're in April, but in this February fractal from January 30th to March, it was essentially a month, right? We burst, impulsed up, and then went straight down and retested it. What you've seen here is essentially, again, almost a month, March 28th, April 26th, we burst, impulsed up, almost tested it again. As you can see, we had a pullback and a lot of consolidation. My hope here is pullback, a lot of consolidation back into the green, another impulse, follow the pattern. You see this a lot. That's why fractals are a thing. Fractals aren't, perfect. It's not you know, a guarantee, but it's a good pattern to watch for. And if I see it filling out this green, I'm going to be very excited and be looking probably to add some positions on top of this resistance if I see it consolidating above this blocker, because that's a strong blocker. Really, I mean, that blocker is here, but if you look, I can pull that blocker all the way to here. So, I mean, I'm just going to do it because why not? I mean, the blocker really isn't even a blocker. I mean, it just kind of, that's a blocker right there, but it pulls back to that resistance. So that's strong right there. Lots of confluence. If we're up above this red and then we start consolidating, I'm going to be pretty bullish on XLM again. Even though I'm still high on it right now, I just think we need to be patient with the buy. And so Link needs to regain. You know, I guess I should put this up because this was a new all-time high. Link shot up to a new all-time high. And the coin doesn't look bad. I just would like it to reclaim this triangle that it was building and operating in. Right now, it's kind of retesting the negative low like it did. If you see this, it busted through, retested, and went down. Busted through, retested, and it's kind of going down. I don't really want to see that much more. I kind of would like it to consolidate again and then shoot back up. That's what we need to see reclaim here. It's not in a bad spot. Link's not. It's not in a bad spot. DeFi in general got just hit hard after looking incredibly strong. You know, this call's consolidation point was really strong. We thought it was going to impulse back up, but then the market just, boom, got smashed. So, you know, that doesn't really change to me much on the long-term outlook of this. I'm still very high on Link. I'm not adding to the position by any means right now. This is one I'm just writing. But if you're in it, it's no reason to panic. So here we are. This is an interesting chart. Big fan of AVE, however you pronounce it. It's a lender for DeFi essentially, and we have been playing this red box a lot. I have been. We haven't made videos on it, but I've been playing this red box a lot. Basically, if it hits the red box, I've been buying, 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 buying. We're back in here, and we're back in the red box. One of the easier trades right now to make. I'm not buying this because I'm just not buying the market in general. But if I decide to jump into the market again here today or tomorrow, if I see some things I like, this is one of them. It's right, lots of confluence here, tons of reactions off this red line, huge support right below it. Just a big fan of this setup. And this coin is strong. DeFi is strong in general. And I think DeFi is going to be one of the ones that's going to elastic back faster than most. This is on Coinbase. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Research, good coin. Flow took a hit. Flow took a big hit. I'm actually out of half of that position at 38 when it peaked up through here. Sold off half the position to move to a different bag, which I have not done yet. We'll be doing today, targeting SOL. We'll see if I can get a good entry, but the rest of the bag that I have is in a good spot. This has been historically a bounce spot. As you can see right here, we were down in this region and bounced up. We are in this region, bounced up. I expect a rebound here. This is just another market casualty. Flow's got some of the strongest fundamental, analysis that you can find out there with the investors and the actual fiat money coming in. Fundamental analysis doesn't mean a lot right now, but we're in a cycle, and coins with fundamental analysis tend to have less of a risk profile. This is why I'm in it. VET, wow. I mean, this coin it just went bananas. So I think this is kind of an outlier in terms of what it's doing right now. It has a lot more to do with what it already did as opposed to the market just taking a dump. You know, we shot from under a penny to 30 cents, 28 cents on, where was this? Is Binance. So 28 cents on Binance. That's pure out parabolic movement, and it's going to correct. And it has melted down to 13 cents yesterday. And if you caught that relief bounce, there was an opportunity to quick trade the relief bounce back up to 20. Where we're at right now with this coin, you know, I'm personally charting it because it's of high interest. It's not one I'm buying into, or just monitoring. It's hard for me to buy coins that have done the run that this has. It's hard for me. Could that get up to $1 this cycle? Absolutely. Even at $1 though, I'm looking at a 5x right now. Is the risk reward there for me personally? No, it's not. But maybe it is for some. ADA has been in absolute stall mode since it rushed up to 155 and pumped out some pretty high candles. I don't know why that's there. It must have gone up after I clicked that. So that's not even so busted through the new all-time here. All right. So anyways, talking to myself, sorry. Consolidation, man, like big time consolidation, kind of culminating on a just massive downward candle. Let's see. So that's February 23rd right here. And that we're talking about 2 months of ADA sideways. ADA was another one that, it pumped awfully hard, similar to how VET pumped awfully hard. And so I'm not really surprised by the stagnated action. And I haven't held a position in ADA because of that context. But, the fact of the matter is it's now done this for 2 months, and then it's culminated on a ridiculously strong impulse down on the daily chart. Like this is like, looks like I'm looking at a 4-hour chart or something right here, or a 1-hour chart. But this isn't. This is a daily chart. Like that's a daily candle. It's insane. And it's an insane daily candle. So like we need to see some of these levels reclaimed where this can grab lower. I think the next area I'd be looking at is right here in this range, which is the 80 cent to 95 cent range, essentially, if it decided to grab lower. But this is one of those ones that in a bull market, when you see something go sideways after it's been so strong for such a long time, that doesn't signify it's done. That signifies that it's consolidating. And I'm not out on this coin by any means. I'm actually going to be probably starting to look at it and look for some possible buys because there's definitely another leg up in this cycle, and I think ADA is one of the stronger ones to make it. So hopefully you enjoyed this, guys. Let's go ahead and get to stop share on the market in general right now. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to kind of finish up with my thoughts and where I'm at. I'm being patient on my buys and my ads. I'm a cycle trader, so I have my positions and I'm not moving off my positions because I don't feel that the cycle is done. So then it becomes for me, I already know when I'm going to be selling. I've got ideas in my mind of when I'm going to sell. So then it becomes for me when I see scenarios like this, am I buying? And these are the type of scenarios where I am 100% okay with you buying, 100%. If you're cycle trading this, if you're adding to positions here, I have no problem with positions being added. A lot of people want to add on the impulse side. They want to add when things are going strong. They want to add when things turn around. The reality there is that if you're watching this video, you're likely not that type of a trader. You're not a type of a trader who's just soaking this in 24/7 and hitting those moves perfect. And if you're not hitting those moves perfect, then it's more about just getting money in solid spots. And today, we're coming off an absolute dump in the market. This is a solid spot. Does the dump continue? It's possible. It's possible it could grab lower. BTC could grab down to 42, 44. That would take the rest of the market down with it. And in that scenario, you would buy again. So take that into mind if you're going to buy right now. Don't use all your money. If you've got $1,000 to deploy, then, put 250 out right now. If it goes down harder, 300. Down harder, finish with the 500 and your thousands in. And you're in a spot that's solid for the long-term cycle. Hope this is helpful for you guys. Good luck, keep investing, and give me that like and follow if you're enjoying the content. See y'all soon.